So with that, let's go ahead and get it going. So go ahead. Try not to fall asleep on me, but we're gonna do something a little different today. We're gonna stretch the glutes out from a laying position. So what I want you to do is lay on your back. We're gonna grab ankle and knee, similar to the stretch or the movement that we do when we're standing. But this time I'm gonna walk y'all through a little bit of what we call Pnf stretching. And so this is going to help to loosen up the glutes. We're going to do a lot of leg exercises today. And so have that other leg straight. I want you to pull that knee across your body to the opposite shoulder. And then what you're going to do is you're going to try to fire, keep one hand on the knee. You're going to try to fire that knee back into this hand. So push into it, hold it for a 6 count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then relax and let it pull across your body more. You should be feeling that stretch in the glute, especially on the outer hip area. And then we're just going to hold this for about 20 seconds. So this is a great, we call that kind of like contract, relax. That allows us to kind of turn off the protective property of the glute. So our glute muscle doesn't really know that we're trying to really get it to relax and stretch. And so when you initially go to pull, it's going to unconsciously kind of tighten up a little bit. And so by pushing up against it for 6 and then relaxing, it lets us get more range of motion. All right, switch legs. Thanks for listening to my TED Talk. All right, so same thing, pull across the body. We're going to hold it for about 10 seconds, and then I'll tell you when we're going to push back into this hand for 6. So let's go ahead and do that now. Push, 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 push into it. So I'm trying to fire my knee this way. And then we got 3, 2, 1. Bring it back across the chest more. Good, and we'll hold here for about 20 seconds. I just like to always start with something that's going to loosen those glutes up, because even though we're laying when we're sleeping, they're still getting pretty tight from just being in that static position. All right, so go ahead and relax, and then we're going to pop it up, half kneeling hip flexor stretch. Go ahead and stretch this out. That's going to help with our squats that we're going to do quite a few of. So squeeze that back glute. Push forward into it. Take that other arm. We're going to go overhead. And these two are really great to help undo a lot of the nasty effects of sitting. So typically we get really tight here. We get really weak and tight in the glutes as well. All right, let's spend about 30 seconds. So switch sides. Same thing. Squeeze that back glute. Push forward just a little bit into that front leg. Same side arm as the kneeling leg comes overhead and reaches across. Hopefully, when you've got that glute squeeze, you're feeling that stretch through the front of that hip. Good. And then pop it on up to standing. Now we're going to get into a little more dynamic stuff before we get into the workout. So I want you folding at the waist, knees are straight. We're going inchworm to push up. So keep those knees as straight as you can. That is the key here. Screw your hands into the floor. If you need to go from the knees, that's fine. Give me that push up. Walk your feet back towards your hands. We're going to do 3 of each, so 2 more like this, and then we'll go the opposite direction, hands to feet. All right, so hinge again. Walk it out. Knees are straight. Screw those hands in the floor. Tighten your glutes up. Give me a good push-up. Walk your hands back to your feet using just your ankles. Stand it on up. 1 more. And then we'll switch it up and go hands to feet. Push up. Walk those hands back to your feet. Stand it up. All right, 3 more. This time we're going to work on shoulders a little more. So still knees are straight. Walk it out. Hold this plank position for a second. Walk those hands back in. If you need to, if that is really hard to walk your hands back in that pike position, so this position here where my knees are staying straight, you can bend the knees, and that'll take a little bit of your body weight off. Let's do 1 more. Good. Perfect. All right, next one. We'll do a couple lateral lunges. I want to overhead hold. That way we get a little bit of lower back activation. So arms are overhead, elbows are straight. Step it out. Make sure that toe is pointed forward. Soften the knee up. Sit the hip back like you're sitting in a chair. Press back up to standing. Same thing on the other side. I just want 3 on each side. So if you're going with me, this is 2 on each side. And 3. Really trying to keep that trail leg straight. That way we get a little bit of adductor stretch. We're going to be doing some wide squats today. So it's a good idea to go ahead and get the inner groin area warmed up. All right, last one. Let's get those quads going and those abdominals. So what I want you to do is stay tight here. Don't let that rib cage flare. Grab the ankle, get your balance, pull and push. So again, if you need to get near a wall, get near a chair, whatever you have near you. Pull the ankle, push overhead, making sure that you're keeping your abs nice and tight. I want 5 on each side. And then we'll hit just 30 seconds of jumping jacks, and that should be it. That should be enough for the warm-up. I think we've gotten just about every area of the body by this point. All right, here's 4 for me. If you're following along with me. 1 more, really pushing that hip forward, only holding it for a second. Pressing overhead. Good. All right, shake it out. And then let's go jumping jacks, 30 seconds, going in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Good, halfway. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Good job, y'all. All right, shake everything out. Grab a little bit of water if you need it. And then we're going to go ahead and get into the first section of the workout, which we're doing Tabata. So remember, that's high intensity intervals. Go as high intensity as you would like. Since we're just starting out with these, you could start slower, then work it up in intensity as we get into the later rounds. Remember, Tabata is just an interval protocol. 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, times 8 rounds. Tabata number 1. We've got 2 different moves that we're going to alternate for these 4 minutes, for these 8 rounds of 2010. So for every odd round, we're going to start with this one. We've got 2 lateral shuffles to 1 skater. So you can do more than 2 lateral shuffles if you've got more space. But honestly, I kind of kept it this low because I want you doing almost just as many skaters as you are shuffles. So we're going to quarter squat it. We're going to shuffle once, twice, and then we're going to come behind for a skater. So it's going to look like this. So it's essentially kind of a traveling skater. Instead of just here, we're going to travel with it. Remember, you can do more shuffles if you've got the space for it, but I want at least 2. So hopefully you've got enough space to at least do 2 of those shuffles, keeping that quarter squat. Really, it's just all about keeping those feet moving. So that's our first one. And then every odd round that we're going to be alternating that with, we're going to be doing skier jumping jacks. So for that first one, we were in the frontal plane going side to side. Now we're going to be in the sagittal plane or front to back. And so what I want you to do, let me see if I can actually remember this. So there we go. I want opposite arm and leg going up. I have to think about it a little bit. All right, so for here, so these are our skier jumping jacks. Like I said, when left leg is forward, right arm is up, and vice versa. When right leg is forward, left arm is up. That way we're getting a little bit of cross body coordination going on. All right, well, let's go ahead and get into this one. And then we just got one more Tabata after that I'll go over during our 1-minute rest between the first and the second one. All right, y'all, so we're getting ready to do our 2 lateral shuffles, 1 skater. We are going in 3, 2, 1, go. quarter squat. Use that space that you have. Kick that leg behind you. If you need to, you can tap it and do more of a curtsy lunge, but I prefer that you try to work a little bit of the balance and float that leg behind you. 3, 2, 1, time. Good. All right, now we're moving to our skier jumping jack. 3, 2, 1. I find it best to go ahead and start here, and we're going. That way you already have the setup ready with like that one leg forward and the opposite arm up. That way you don't have to sit there and fumble around, try to get it right like I did earlier. All right, 3, 2, 1, time. Good, y'all. And you can always do that one lower impact. All right, back to our shuffles and go. So 2 shuffles or more, and then float that leg behind you for that skater. If you want to give me the toe touch, advance it up a little bit, by all means, do it. All right, y'all stay with it. 3, 2, 1, time. Good. Woo. That'll get the heart rate up quick. All right, skier jumping jacks. Give me the setup. And we're going. Give you the side view here. Trying to keep my elbows as straight as I can. Stay with it. 3, 2, 1, time. Woo. All right, y'all, slow that breathing down. We got 2 shuffles again. Going now. Quarter squat. Give me those shuffles. Give me that skater. You can give me the cross toe tap. You want to advance it up and make it more spicy. 3, 2, 1, time. Good job, y'all. All right, 5 down, 3 to go. Back to our skier jacks. Go. Try to stay on the balls of your feet on this one. Remember, if you need to, you can take it and do step jacks here. Stay with it. And time. Good. All right. Last round of each of these. So last round of shuffle. The skater going now. Try to keep those hips in that quarter squat. Kind of keep them a little lower. That way you're not just standing upright. Now you see why we loosen those glutes up a little bit. Time. Good. All right, last round here. One more 20-second round of skier jumping jacks, then we get a minute to rest. 3, 2, 1, go. Home stretch here, final 10 seconds. And 3, 2, 1, time. Good job, y'all. All right, slow that breathing down first. Give me some nasal breathing or some diaphragmatic breathing. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. We got a full minute to rest starting now. After you've slowed your heart rate down a little bit, you're breathing, then you can grab water. That way you can actually take some in. And then let's go over the next grouping. So again, we've got 2 different exercises here. First one is going to be a WOD. So we're going to step it out. We're going to pulse twice, step it in, pulse twice. We're going to go the same direction for 20 seconds. And then when we come back around, we'll do the other direction. So wide, 2 pulses, narrow, 2 pulses. Make sure your knees aren't collapsing in on that one. And then for our second move, we are going to be in a bent hold. So that's got soft knees, but we're not squatting, right? So keep tension built up in the hamstrings. Chest stays up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to transition from a T. So if y'all are familiar with doing YTWs with me, we're going to just go from Y to T. So the T, regardless of which one I'm doing, I've got my belly tight. My hips are pushed back. T, my palms are facing the floor. We're going to rotate and fly up for a W. Notice when I do that, I'm rotating my thumbs towards the ceiling in this Y fashion. And then coming back, I'm bringing palms back to the floor. That's all that movement is. We're going back. We're basically doing those bent Y to T flies for 20 seconds, alternating with those wide to narrow squats. So, all right, let's start going to the right. So open up to your right. Take a wide step. Make sure your toes aren't pointed out too far. 3, 2, 1. So step it out. Come down. Give me 2 pulses. Down. 1, 2. Narrow. Same thing. Try to sink down as deep as you can. We're going to get those legs really burning as if they weren't already. Time. Good. All right, shake them out. Now we're going to go to our T to Y fly, then we'll come back and do the other side for those squats. All right, T, bring it up, rotate it to Y, and then I just want you holding each position for a couple seconds. So thumbs up for the Y, palms down towards the floor for that T. So we're really working back here. Time. Good. All right, now we're opening up to the left. And I know it looks like I'm going to the right for you, but you're mirroring me. So going to the left, wide pulse, bring them feet not super close together, but definitely closer together than you normally would for your normal body weight squat. Stay low. Give me those pulses. Let's get those legs burning. Time. Good. All right, y'all. Feet hip width apart, toes pointed forwards. Soften those knees up, drive the hips back. And we got our T to Y fly going now. So focus on keeping those shoulder blades kind of tucked into your pockets. So even for the Y, I don't want you to shrug your shoulders up near your ears. Try to keep them down. Time. Good. Okay, now we're going to the right again. We're opening up to the right for that wide to narrow squat pulse. Going now. Stepping out. Give me those 2 pulses. Step it back in narrow. Same thing there. Focus on your toes here. We don't want them super far out when we go to step out wide. So if you need to shift them just a little bit, do so. Time. Woo, that burns. All right, y'all. Back to our bent Y to T. Going now. Keep your belly tight. Push those hips back as far as you can. I want you to continue to feel that stretch in those hamstrings throughout this entire move. We're working everything on the back side of the body here. 3, 2, 1. Time. Good. All right, last round here of these squat pulses, opening up to the left this time. 3, 2, 1, go. Step it out. 2 pulses down here. Stay low. Keep those hips nice and low. 2 pulses in the narrow. I like to keep my hands here to keep my chest up so that my back stays flat. 3, 2, 1, time. Woo. Thank goodness that was the last one of those. Legs are burning. All right, hinge. And last round of these going now. Our T to Y fly. Stay with it. Belly's tight. 3, 2, 1, time. Nicely done, y'all. All right, another minute rest. Slow that breathing down, grab some water. And now we're moving into the bulk of the class, which is our strength moves. So we did a good bit of cardio there, a little bit of strength on that last one. Now we're moving to an 8-minute AMRAP. So remember, that's as many rounds as possible, or reps. In this case, it's rounds. We got 4 different exercises that we're going to cycle through. And I'll walk you through them the first time, and then I'll set you off on your own. You can try to follow me if you want. First movement is a yoga push-up. So we're here, we're pushing, and then we're pushing the floor away from us. You can do this from the knees as well. So it's a push and then push into child's pose. We're really working on shoulder flexibility and mobility there. When you do that one, make sure you're not letting your elbows come out super wide. So easy way to remember how to keep that from happening is take your hands and really grab the ground, screw those hands in like they're screws. And that way, when you go to push, they don't come out wide and look like that. They're gonna be more in line with the wrist. We're doing 5 of those. And then the second movement is gonna be a staggered prisoner. So hands above the head, behind the ears. Hinge, coming up, crunch. Hinge, hips back, bringing that knee and elbow together for that cross crunch, standing cross crunch. 5 on one side, 5 on the other. And then I'll show you the other 2 when we get to them. I don't want to take too much time going over those because we can do them together. And so those are our first 2. So we're going with the yoga push-ups. Go ahead and get in position. 8 minutes here. 3, 2, 1, go. So we're down here. We're doing 5 of these. Remember, you can go from the knees too. We want those hips getting pushed back as far as possible. If you're doing this pike, we're pushing it kind of back and up. All right, there's 5. Then we're going to stand it up. We're going to go hands behind the ears for that prisoner setup. Staggered stance. We're going to hinge the hips back. Then we're going to come up, squeeze the glute on the back side, drive it up. Foot comes back. Same thing. We're going 5 on one side, 5 on the other. There's 3. Here's 4 and 5. Switch your stance up. Same thing on this side. Hinge it back, bring it up, squeeze, cross crunch. There's 2. Keep your belly tight here. 3, 4. Really feeling that stretch in that front leg. And 5. Good, y'all. All right, next one. We are in a reverse plank. So we're going to be here. A little tip here. Anytime you do a reverse plank, if your fingers are pointing behind you, that's going to require more wrist mobility. So if that's too hard for you to get up into this position, then take your fingers and point them out to the sides. And then from here, what we're going to do is we're just going to drive through our heels to bring our butt up. We're going to do 10 of these. Going 3, 2, 1, go. So driving up. I want you to keep your shoulders from shrugging up towards your ears. So drive them down, back and down. Keep your belly tight. And I want you lifting those hips up until you form a straight line from shoulders all the way to heel. Good. Here's 5. We're going for 10. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. 8, 9, 10. Whew. And these can always be modified, y'all, to a tabletop glute bridge. All right, y'all. And then we're stepping it up. Last movement. We've got a reverse lunge to a lateral lunge. So I want you to step it back with me, reverse lunge, and then that lateral lunge, that same one we did in the warm-up. We're doing 5 on one side, 5 on the other. So let's go for number 2 here. Good. And 3, really making sure I'm squeezing that glute on both sides when I stand it up. Here's 4. Last one on this side. 5. Good. Same thing on the other side. Stepping it back. Stepping it outside laterally. Keep those hands at heart so that you can ensure that you're keeping your chest up. Belly stays tight. I lost count. I think I got one more. And those are our 4 moves. So when you're ready, roll back through. We're halfway here. So we got our yoga push-up for 5. Then our staggered RDL to cross crunch for 5. Our reverse plank hip lifts for 10. And then our reverse lunge to lateral lunge for 5 as well. Keep your belly tight. Remember, that's what makes it great. That's one of the crucial ingredients to doing a great push-up or plank. Good. Once you've got 5 of those, we're bringing it up. We're going hands behind the ears, kick a leg to start with, hinge, coming up, cross crunch. 5 on each side, 10 altogether. Good. All right, same thing on this side. Make sure when you go to bring knee to elbow, you're squeezing this glute of that stance leg. Here's 4. Here's 5. Good. Now we're moving to our reverse plank hip lifts. 3 minutes to go here. Remember, change that finger position if you need to. Drive those elbows or those shoulder blades down and back. Keep your belly tight. And then we're doing 10 hip lifts. Remember, if you need to, you can bend the knees and make it just a bit easier. Good. Once you got those 10, pop it up. We got 2 more minutes here. Let's see how far we can make it. We got our reverse lunge to lateral lunge. Make sure that toe is pointed forwards for both of these lunges on both legs. Good. Home stretch here. Just about 1:30 to go. Should be able to make it, hopefully, into the 3rd round. You might not make it all the way through. It's okay though. Good. All right, shake it out. Final 60 seconds here. Let's see how far we can make it. We got our yoga push-ups, staggered RDL to cross crunch, reverse plank hip lifts, and reverse lunge to lateral lunge. Remember, we're doing 5 of these yoga push-ups. Once you get those 5, stand it up. Give me that hinge to cross crunch. We got 30 seconds. Let's see if we can get even on both sides. $15 seconds to go. Good. Final 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Nicely done, y'all. 1 strength AMRAP down, 1 to go. All right, we got 2 minutes here, so I want you to catch your breath. That'll give me some time to go over the next set here. Grab some water. Slow that breathing down. Whew. Tell you what, I am more than warm now. All right, let's go ahead and go over our final set of exercises for today's workout. So we've got another 8-minute AMRAP following the same format as the last one. So we've got 4 different exercises that we're going to cycle through for 8 minutes. First one, and these are all 10 reps to keep it nice and easy to remember. We got side plank hip dips. So you're going to be in a side plank from the elbow, lifting those hips up, keeping your belly and your glutes tight. Give me 10 on one side, 10 on the other. This can be modified to go from the knees as well. Just push those hips forward, and then it would look like this. Keeping those abs as tight as you can. Then exercise 2, we are going to pop it up. Standing, one more leg exercise, the second to last leg exercise. We're taking a split squat, and we are going to sink it down, and we're going to pulse here. We're going to do 10 pulses. Notice I'm kind of staying in the bottom quarter to the top, to the top quarter. I'm not coming all the way up. So 10 pulses on one side, 10 pulses on the other. Make sure that toe is pointed forwards. Then third movement is going to be frog pumps. So we're going to be here. Knees are splayed out wide. Bottom of feet are together. And then we are driving through the outside of our foot to bridge our hips up. Squeeze those glutes. Bring it back down. 10 of those as well. Fourth and final move is going to be down here on the floor as well. We're going to be working abdominals. So I want a single leg V up. So bring the leg up, bring the arms up towards it. If that's too hard, I want you 90-90 with the hips, and I want you giving me a crunch here or a heel tap. So tapping the heels of each foot. Whichever one you do of those, we're doing 10 altogether. So on the single leg V up, I want you alternating legs. So it's going to be 5 on each side. All right, y'all. Final grouping here. 3, 2, 1. Side plank, and we're going. Bridging up. Give me 10 of these. Whew. Now remember, you can bend the knees, shorten that lever a little bit. Give me 10 on the other. Yeah, feel that burn. And then once you've got those done, we're working it up. We're taking a split stance. Most of the weight is on the front leg. And then we are going to sink to the bottom quarter of it, to the top quarter, pulsing. Give me 10. Make sure that knee's tracking the toe. Dig your big toe into the floor. Woo. That one burns. Shake it out. Same thing on the other side. Ten pulses. Woo. Nice little burn there. Once you've got those split squat pulses, we're moving to our frog pump. So splay the knees out wide. Give me 10 of these. Pressing through the outside of the foot. You should be feeling that really high up in the glute. Try to keep those knees as wide as possible. And then stay down here once you finish those. And if you're doing the V-ups, you're gonna go one side and then the other. Give me 5 on each, 10 all together. If you'd rather, you can bend both knees and give me those heel taps, 10. Whew. Good job, y'all. And that is our sequence. So we got about 45 minutes to go here. So we're rolling back around. If you're following along with me, we got our side plank hip dips for 10 on each side. Staying as tight as I can through my midsection as well as my glutes. Woo. Once you got those done, remember you're popping it up to standing, and then we've got our split squat pulses. So pick a leg to start with, drop the other leg behind, make sure the toe is pointed forwards and the knee is following that toe. And then we're going to sink down, kind of stay in that mid-range for our 10 pulses. Whew. If you need to break those up, because I know we've done a lot of leg stuff already, by all means, break it up however you need to. Whew. Then we got our frog pumps. Remember, you're done when you've squeezed those glutes as hard as you can. Don't feel like you have to get them as high up towards the ceiling as you can, because we want to focus on just finishing that hip extension. Good, and then we're staying down here after those frog pumps. We got just a couple minutes left, so stay with it. Keep chugging along here. We got our alternating single leg V-up. Is the last move of our 4 exercise sequence. Woo! All right, y'all, home stretch. We got just 2 minutes to go here. See how far we can make it. Coming back around for the 3rd set if you're following me. We got our 10 side plank hip dips on each side. And then switch in to the other side. Just under 90 seconds to go here. Challenge yourself. Let's see how far we can make it. Final 60 seconds. I know everything's burning, especially those legs and those glutes. Stay with it. Almost there. Woo. All right, y'all, final 30 seconds. Woo. Feeling that burn. Final 15. Finish strong here. See if we can get a third round completely done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Woo. Good job, y'all. All right, since we're already down here, I'll tell you what, let's go ahead, sit up if you're still laying down, or if you were stuck in your split squats, bring it down to the floor. Let's do a pancake stretch first. So I want you to slow your breathing down before we do anything. So give me a couple deep inhales through the nose. Big exhales through the mouth. Sit up straight so you can give that diaphragm more room. That'll give our lungs a bigger capacity. All right, give me one more. And then if you haven't already, spread your feet out wide. We're going to go for a pancake stretch. So go ahead, reach forward. So a little bit of combo groin and hamstring here. Great work today, y'all. That was a really good one. We got a good amount of cardio in the beginning, and then we really hit it hard with a lot of great bodyweight strength exercises for over 15 minutes to finish that class. All right, reach for the right foot. Now we're getting a little more hamstring than we were groin on that original pancake stretch. And then walk it over. Same thing on the other side. And then while we're down here, go ahead and release that. I want you to cross one leg over and hug it. Woo, that one feels good. Really stretch that glute out that we just finished absolutely punishing. I don't know what it did to us, but we definitely punished it. And if you have any time later today, because I can guarantee you with a lot of the different leg exercises we did, and especially those frog pumps that are very targeted for the glutes, you may be a little sore there later. So helping to dissipate that soreness and increase and enhance recovery, if you have a foam roller, I would definitely suggest getting on that and kind of doing a cross leg like this to bring that glute up. Switch legs if you haven't already. And really just foam rolling any time of day, any musculature that you're feeling tight with really helps to, loosen you up, increase blood flow to the area, and enhance recovery, which I think a lot of people just are not spending enough time on. All right, y'all, release that. Standing on up. Let's do a quad stretch, and then we'll finish with a chest stretch, and that will be it. So just like the warm-up exercise where we weren't holding it, but I still want you to focus on squeezing that back glute, pushing that hip forward as you pull. And kind of sit that torso up. Don't hyperextend through the back. Keep your belly tight. Good. Release that. Switch to the other side. Couple more seconds here. We'll get at least 20. Good. Release that. Clasp those hands behind the back. Drive down. Bring those palms together. If you want to enhance it a little bit, you can also bring the arms up. Give me some deep breaths here. And then let's forward fold. And let those arms drop. Let's sway side to side a couple times. Relax that head. Good, and then slowly work your way back up. And that is it for today's Bodyweight Bootcamp class. Thank y'all so much for coming.